Alright, so look, I know I do video essays, but I wanted to make a mod list, so
Shut your lame.
link to videos explaining how to mod will all be linked below, so you have no excuse to leave your Spider-Man 2 looking like butt cheeks. You're going to want to download these 5 mods first, because they're either essential to modding Spider-Man 2, or they're essential to some upcoming mods in this video. First off, OverStrike. OverStrike is where you're going to be putting your mods. Follow the video link below and we're like 50% of the way there. Did you do it? Good. Now, these next 4, these are your don't move them, don't f***ing touch them, and don't even look at them funny mods. These next mods are going to go on top like so, and don't move them anywhere else. It'll list them as script mods. And listen, I don't know what the f*** that means, but all I know is that it works if you listen to what the f*** I'm saying. So, anywho, download mod settings. This cool ass mod is going to give you the extra tab to change some settings in regards to your mods. Second, you're going to download a cheat menu. Now this is sort of self-explanatory, but this gives you a cheat menu allowing you to do things like infinite ammo, infinite focus, infinite ability, adding as much XP as you want, and adding tokens. Next, we need rage settings. Now rage settings is a mod that lets you do shit like this. This mod also lets you change various things having to do with the symbiote surge ability. That includes selecting the suit you use when you use the symbiote, quick toggling like we just mentioned, or even letting you play as Venom. I mean, if you're being a freaky ass, there's a mod that lets you play as a naked Venom with a massive dick. That mod won't be showcased here, but do some quick searching, you'll find it.
I dropped my monster condom that I use for my magnum dong.
Anyway, lastly, you're going to want to download more suit slots. This is self-explanatory and you'll see why you need this in a second. But alright, you got all that shit downloaded? Congrats, you just built the foundation. These mods aren't the fun part, they're the skeleton. And now that the bones are in place, we can finally flesh out this game into what Spider-Man 2 should have been like, and shit, maybe even make it feel like Spider-Man 3. But with that being said, let's get into it. The only thing I love more than eating ass is beating it. So that's why we're going to download Web of Shadows, Inspired Combat, and Traversal changes. Now we're going to ignore the Traversal changes in this mod, but just for a quick rundown, it takes away loop-de-loop limitations, the swing gravity and max swing speed have been increased, the jump height of the roll and recovery when hitting the ground has been increased, and jump height of the water surf jump has also been increased. Just a bit of small changes to make the Spider-Man feel a bit more powerful and less like a baby bag bitch, which, let's be honest, is a lot how Spider-Man 2's combat kind of feels like. Like it's flashy on the surface, but holds back the real weight and creativity. This mod immediately fixes that. Anyway, this mod is essential because it changes how fast you attack. So you're essentially fighting like a real spider person, fast and ruthless. It also changes symbiote gameplay to be a bit more slow so you can really feel the weight of that BBT. It slows things down in a way that actually makes symbiote combat feel dangerous, not like just another skin for Peter. It does some other small things as well, like giving you a much higher enemy jump off height, and with this mod alone, the combat already feels much more satisfying and beefy. But like a good set of working nuts, we have to pair it with an even weightier nut to really balance it out. Anyway, unlimited combat. Now this mod is the real meat of the combat mods and truly changes how combat works and feels. This mod is huge and I can't cover everything that's in this mod, so please take time to read the description and watch some videos from the showcase. But with that being said, this mod essentially turns the combat into an almost arcade-like experience. Instead of button mashing, you're actually aiming your stick, towards enemies while attacking. It's small, but it makes combat way more engaging. Like Spider-Man is actually thinking about where he's swinging his fist instead of just pressing square until shit dies. It's not even a massive change necessarily, but I feel like the change it does bring is one that really revitalizes the combat and feels a bit more accurate to who Spider-Man is supposed to be. This mod also gives you combos, making it feel a bit more akin to a fighting game than a third-person beat 'em up.
I know Miles can handle it.
Pair this with the Web of Shadows combat mod, and you got the closest we'll ever get to Web of Shadows gameplay in Spider-Man 2. And honestly, this is what the base game should have been like all along in my opinion. But lastly, for combat, we have expanded stealth takedowns. Now this one isn't necessarily a game changer, but it does add more stealth takedowns for both Miles and Peter. And it's just a little touch that makes the overall fighting experience feel a bit more fleshed out.
Better not wake up.
With that being said, let's head over to the Traversal section. The first mod you're going to pick up is Slingshot Anywhere. Listen, when they introduced this little launch pad into the game, I was hyped. It's like a little tech demo for how powerful the PS5 really is. But my issue is, I feel like these launch pads are never really in spaces where they're actually useful. But with this mod, you essentially have a little launch pad under your feet at all times. Is it a little busted? Yes. But for this section, I'm going to go on the rule of cool here, and I'm not going to put too much thought into the actual logistics of this whole thing. But speaking of the rule of cool and being and busted, this next mod is called Unlimited Spider Dash and Jump. Again, self-explanatory. You ever wanted to get higher than astronaut nuts for no real reason other than you can? Well, this mod is for you. With the dash, it's almost like you're skating to the sky, and provides another viable mode of getting around the map. Side note, I barely even use the fast travel simply because the traversal of even the base game is really fun and intuitive, and these mods just add a bit of extra layer of fun, which to me makes the fast travel aspect a bit trivial. But next we have a mod that essentially turns you into Anthony Mackie. Unfortunately, we can't turn this game into Striking Vipers, so we'll have to settle for the next best thing. This mod turns the Webwings into less of a glorified Batman glider and more of a Black Falcon simulator.
Is it because I'm black and I'm the Falcon?
Now listen, I be getting so f***ing scared of using this mod because I'm not entirely sure if my PC is better than my PS5, and I be feeling like my shit gonna crash. But it's a really fun mod that allows you to fly across New York like a plane. You know what? That's probably not the best choice of words. That was plain wrong. Anyway, fun mod, just pray your PC doesn't explode. Lastly, we have the Swing Forever / Infinite Loop-de-Loop. Now firstly, this mod gets rid of my biggest pet peeve within this game, and that's not letting us hold on to our web for however long we want. Second, this mod does let us do infinite loop-de-loops, and I think it may overlap with the first mod that we got that did this, sometimes resulting in some wonky animations, but hey, what real practical use do you have for using the loop-de-loops in the first place? Exactly. Point is, these mods make Traversal feel less like Spider-Man 2's guided tour of New York and more like the chaotic playground it should have been. Speaking of things that should have been, let's touch on the main characters of this game. Anyway, we have Mature Peter, and this mod literally does nothing but give Peter a beard. Small change, but it really sells the mid-20s, burnt out Peter that they were going for, and as a 27-year-old who can only grow hair on my head and balls, this is a cool little way to project my facial hair shortcomings onto Peter. My bro looks like the crispiest white boy you've ever seen in your life, and this is for sure a look that needs to become a reality in the next game. Anyway, for this next mod we have Todd McFarlane inspired Venom replacement. Now personally, this is how I imagine Venom when I think of Venom, and I don't like the Venom design they went with because it feels a bit too safe. I can't really articulate that very well, but it just feels very corporate and like some shareholder's idea of what a scary Venom is supposed to look like. Todd McFarlane's Venom already has a history attached, and again, it's my definitive Venom, and the model here just looks so sleek. This mod also has different versions to choose from, so I'm sure you'll find one that meshes well for you.
For the last time, Parker! Our pronouns are they, them. Not because we are non-binary, but because we are literally two niggas.
Lastly, we have the one mod that fixes something that I make fun of every time I make videos about this damn game, and it's this lame ass Killmonger ass cut they gave Miles.
I have seen everything that has ever happened, ever will happen, ever could happen, and yet, what the hell is this?
I don't even want to talk about that anymore, but here, this mod gives Miles a haircut that actually gets some bitches on his dick. Don't it look clean as hell here? Listen, this is it. Insomniac, cut his f***ing hair, but don't worry, he's about to look even cleaner once you see the new suits we're about to give him. With that being said, let's switch over to the suit mods. Alright, so I know how Spider-Man fans are, and I know a good amount of you guys skipped this section first, so look, a preface. I think a good amount of the suits on Nexus are genuinely kinda trash, but I picked out some good ones I think will satisfy the majority of you guys. The first mod is a mod that should have been in the game already, and that's called Community Suit Patch. This mod lets you have most, if not all, the suits from the first Spider-Man game. Literally all the suits here in this mod look like they were made for this game. And I don't know if the author ripped the models from the first game or remade them or whatever, but in reality, I don't really give a f. They look great here, and that's all that matters. I know a lot of you guys enjoy the first game more for a myriad of valid reasons, so here you go. Hopefully we can sort of bridge that gap. Anyway, going back to a little rant about Miles, this next mod is called the Upgraded Evolved Suit. Now we all know this suit here is doo-doo but dog water. In addition to it being an Adidas ad, this suit just looks goofy as hell. This mod here aims to solve that issue by still keeping some core aspects of the original suit, but upgrading it in a way that actually looks good, and like something Miles would actually wear. Now personally, I'm not a fan of the whole hair showing through the suit concept. This mod adds a hood for him to wear, and not only does it look menacing, it also gives meaning to the suit by differentiating it from Peter, which was the whole purpose of the original suit in the first place. This mod makes the design feel a lot more intentional and less like it was scrapped together. We also have to mention some of the colorways, and with that being said, the black one here looks the best, and it's probably the one they should have put first in my opinion. But anyway, sticking with Miles for a second, this next mod is one of my favorites. We have REZA's Prowler Miles Across the Spider-Verse Earth 42 mod. This mod is self-explanatory. It's a suit that the alternate version of Miles wears at the end of the last Spider-Verse movie. It looks ripped out of the movie and just looks damn good here. Any Spider-Verse fan should definitely download this mod. Switching over to Peter, we have Vader's 2004 Raimi suit, which, like the title implies, is a recreation of Toby's suit from the Raimi trilogy. And this suit here has fairly accurate proportions to the movie as well. The raised webbing and the darker blue looks perfect in this game, and it's perhaps my second favorite suit for Peter in this game. This suit also has custom spider arms, which is always amazing to see. I for sure love it when mod creators go the extra mile simply for the love of the game. But yeah, I don't lie to you guys, including myself, view Toby as the Spider-Man, and this mod is the most accurate recreation of this suit that I found by far. But anyway, if we have this suit, we're also going to need this next suit mod, that being the film accurate Raimi Black Web suit Recolor. This mod changes the default black suit itself instead of adding a suit slot. This way, when we use raise settings to transform into this suit, as the name says, is a much more accurate representation of the suit in the third Raimi movie. It changes the color of the webbing, and I didn't realize how inaccurate this suit was until I put it side by side with this one. But anyway, we move over to Andrew Spider-Man with Agro's Photoreal The Amazing Spider-Man 2 mod. Much like Vader's mod, this mod seeks to add in an accurate model of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. And well done. I totally look like I'm gonna kill my girlfriend by accident. Also, it doesn't say in the mod description itself, but it also looks like there's some proportion changing with this suit as well, which is always a cool addition to see, like I said. But next we skip over to one of the best recreations of a movie suit so far on Nexus, that being Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now we've all seen those pictures of Tom Holland absolutely aura forming that got quote unquote leaked a bit ago, and goddamn, I'm so hyped for this movie. But how much do you want to bet this suit will be in the movie for like 30 minutes? But anyway, I love this suit in particular because it changes proportions a bit, and it also has little wrinkles on the suit that sort of tell us that Peter built this suit from scratch. Things like that remind me of the scene where you can see Andrew's suit wrinkle in the wind. But yeah, this suit is pretty much essential in my opinion. It's definitely going to make you even more hyped for the Brand New Day movie. Anyway, we have to talk about my favorite Spider-Man suit mod, and that's got to be Scott Johnson's classic suit by AgroFro. Now this suit is a mod that accurately recreates the Spider-Man I think of when I think of pre-MCU Spider-Man. The way the red and blue contrast with each other is something that no movie has been really able to recreate. I'm not sure if they ever could if they really even tried. This suit just looks amazing here, and to me, it just makes sense to put it in this game. As a whole, this is my definitive suit, and it's one mod that I consider essential, especially for a more mature Peter. Now I have some really unique suit mods coming up, but before we get there, let's go through some more Miles suit mods that I think are pretty cool. Now Miles doesn't really have the best suit mods here on this website, so this is my attempt at trying to find the remedy for that. First off, we have Tango's classic suit for Miles Morales, based on the art of David Marquez. Now I don't know who David Marquez is, but he deserves some soppy toppy with a twist, because this suit here is peak. Not only does the back logo look great, I mean hell, look at this back shot, shut up, but this suit is also actually black, not just a weird gray color. And much like the symbiote suit from earlier, I didn't realize how washed out the original Miles suit was until I got this mod. But next we have a mod that gives Miles a comparable suit to Andrew's suit with the mod, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 Miles by FLYSHY. As you can see, this suit almost looks homemade and also has some stitching. This too reminds me of the suit wrinkles from the Amazing Duology. But before I got this game on PC, I headcanon that Miles' black tracksuit was the definitive Miles suit, and this mod almost looks similar in a way, but with a much more definitive look to the Miles mythos. Speaking of the Miles mythos, I'd be dumb not to get a mod that gives us the classic Leap of Faith suit from the first Spider-Verse movie. This next suit is a mod called Marvel Spider-Man 2 Leap of Faith Miles. This mod actually replaces the streetwear suit slot and makes it a much more accurate one to the movies. It even gives Miles the iconic Jordans that he wears. This mod also comes in some pretty cool colorways, and one of those being the greenish blue color from the movie. For all the real Miles fans out there, get this suit for sure. Lastly, the two mods we have here are kind of just joke suit mods, but they're f***ing hilarious to me, and I feel weird not including it because of how much I played with them. First off, we have the Halloween Party Dude. This mod is just amazing, and like, just look. I mean, who doesn't want to be a slightly overweight superhero who could definitely beat your ass and leap away in 5 seconds flat? This mod is genuinely peak, and while it's not essential, if you want a quick laugh, this mod is for you, for sure. Plus they got one for both Miles and Peter, so just get this mod for me, please. Lastly, we have one of the most weird mods that I've seen on Nexus, that being ToyBiz Raimi figure. Now this mod sort of tripped me up because this looks genuinely like a toy. Like, not a render of a toy, but it looks like the author just imported a toy into the game, and that's a feat in itself. If you get this mod, be sure to turn on the film style animation for a true toy-like experience. This mod just looks genuinely kind of off-putting, but charming at the same exact time. But next we move on to gameplay tweaks that truly take this game to the next level. First up, we have one of my favorite mods, that being the over-the-shoulder camera mod. This is self-explanatory as well. This mod makes this game look like a game that takes its story actually serious, and I don't fully know what I mean by that, but I think you can piece my thought process together. It just looks epic in the way that you can feel a bit more like Spider-Man, and not just when you're swinging around the city. If you skip any of the mods from earlier, don't make it this one. In fact, I feel like all the mods in this section are essential in making this game feel like Spider-Man 2.5. With that being said, we go to the next mod. Tweaked Crime Type Overhaul. What's that mod do, Never Not June? Well, this mod changes a fundamental issue with this game, one that you probably didn't even realize was an issue. So this mod changes the way the crime system works. You can read the full description of the mod for yourself, but some really cool highlights are that this mod makes thug crime the most common one, cultist the second most common, and the symbiote the rarest crime. And I don't know about you, but god, I hate fighting the fucking symbiotes in this game. It's so annoying, and I can't even really tell you why. I just feel like they're a bit more spongy, and I don't know if I'm wrong in feeling that way, but I do. But anyway, this mod makes crime fight actually fun again, and that makes me sound like a criminal, but shut up. Get this mod. It makes the post game especially fun, because let's be real, ain't shit to do in the post game besides of this.
Like sugar on my tongue, 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 your body so sweet, sweet, sweet.
But speaking of mods that fixes crime, we have to fix the most annoying shit about crimes actually. This old ass fucker always needing to be rescued. Listen, I think bro genuinely has some kind of weird kink for getting touched by one of the Spider-Men, because like, my nigga, why do you always need help? Stay your wrinkly ass inside, god damn. But anyway, I'm sorry. This mod is called No Civilian Rescues, and it takes this old jackass out of the game entirely. Enough said. But with this mod, it essentially streamlines the whole process of crimes, and I don't need to travel halfway across the goddamn city for an ambulance. Do I hate this f***er? Yes. So good riddance. Anyway, this next mod is called Freecam Finishers and Stealth Takedowns. This mod here is a game changer in that it removes the little fixed camera angle that happens when you do finishers, and it looks a lot more natural in my opinion. And honestly, it just feels right. I feel like this makes combat flow a lot better as well. You know, instead of taking the time to flex on unnamed thug number 5. It's been one of my favorite mods, and I think that Spider-Man 3 should incorporate something similar into the mix. It makes finishers not seem like this big grandiose deal, like it's just another ass-kicking day for Spider-Man. But hey, do you really want to aura farm on unnamed thug number 5? Well, this next mod is called Disabled Combat Walk. So instead of crouching like you're bracing for a fight with enemies, you just walk right up like a little badass, essentially letting your enemies know you're like 2 seconds away from flipping open their butt cheeks.
What are we talking about?
Just by the way, this only works with Peter, you know, because Miles being black is intimidating enough. I don't know how to segue into this next one, so now we have amplified swing camera, specifically the V2 version. This mod, from the author's mouth, makes the swing camera a bit more exaggerated and a bit more immersive. Just see for yourself. Now, it's not a huge change, but it makes a difference in my opinion. And hey, who says small things can make a difference? Ask your girlfriend. Next, we have another rule of cool mod that's just super fun to play with, and that's the almost infinite invisibility mod. As Miles, this mod lets you, well, be invisible for damn near forever. Now, I haven't exactly found the limit here, but I promise you it's a lot longer than the base games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but can't Miles be invisible for as long as he wants? I think they only gave him a meter for game mechanic purposes. This mod does indeed sort of break the game, but I don't know, it's fun, and low-key makes me feel like Batman in the Arkham series stalking my prey because nobody knows where I am, you know? But anyway, you'll like it, I promise. Otherwise, you can tie me up and choke me. Wait. No, actually, yeah, I don't like this mod. So the next mod is called Enemy and Boss Health Increases. This mod is actually needed for the combat mod from earlier, and you'll for sure want to have enough time to use those new combat styles that we modded into this game. And this mod aims to do just that. If you're like me, you'd beat this game a good amount of times and want a bit of a challenge. You know, one that breathes life back into this game. And once again, that's low-key the whole point of this video. But speaking of breathing life into this game, this last mod is a mod that I'm sure a good amount of Spider-Man fans will love the name of. That being Spider-Man Unnerfed 2. Straight from the description of this mod, it breaks the chains of the game and lets you sprint faster, jump farther, your point launch speed is increased, quick recovery speed is increased, wall run and wall climb speed is increased, you can swing close to the ground even with swing assist disabled, and you even get infinite web zip. Now this mod is definitely a needed mod. Now I know I said this a couple times, but this mod just makes you feel like everything a Spider-Man is supposed to be, like a force to be reckoned with. So with that being said, finally, your Spider-Man is nerfed no more, even though he was never really nerfed in the first place, but I have a video about that. Anyway, we move on to the more miscellaneous section of this mod list. So with that being said, lastly, we're going to do a bit of a speed round for the next couple of mods that aren't necessarily important, but add a bit of realism or just further immersion to your game. First off, no green aura when healing. This mod removes that little green effect that happens when you heal. It's fine in the base game, but it's a bit unnecessary in my opinion. This mod gets rid of that. Next we have Starburst height effects. This is a mod that removes the combat effects that happen when you punch someone. This mod makes things feel a bit more real when you deck someone in the f***ing face, plus 2 to immersion. Next, we have no more traversal trails. This gets rid of those stupid little trails that happen when you use the Webwings. I understand it's just a visual indication that you're flying, but I know I'm flying, I press triangle. The next mod we have is called Symbiote Enemy Visual Overhaul. This mod changes the symbiotes to get rid of the f***ing nose swirl and gives them back their regular symbiote eyes. Noah was barely even in this game, and it almost has no bearing on the story actually, so it bothers me that they have his likeness. And yeah, I know who Noah is, so it makes sense on paper, but shut up, I think it looks cooler. Next, we have Quips On Finishers. This is a mod that lets both Peter and Miles quip when they use finishers, self-explanatory. Next, we have Real Branding and Ads. This is New York City, and New York City is known for 2 things. This meme,
Fuck your life! Bing bong!
And commercialism. This mod will make you randomly crave some McDonald's, and you're welcome. Get a Big Mac for me. Last, we have Miles, What the F are you wearing? This mod is actually dumb as hell, and I just think it's funny. It changes the dialogue in the mission where Miles introduces his new suit, but if you downloaded the mod that lets you change Miles' suit, it kinda just looks like Peter is Hayden, which is f***ing hilarious.
What the fuck are you wearing?
It's time for a Miles Morales original, you know? One of one.
That shit's ass, bro.
But hey, with all that being said, you've officially modded your Spider-Man 2 into Spider-Man 2.5, aka the game that it should have been in the first place. I hope you enjoy your new mods, hope you enjoy your new game. I've been Never Not June. Thanks for watching.
This is Gaza.
Walk through a firefight to acquire my people today. Walk through a city, blessed in the summit. The culture has risen, break out of the cage. A man at the front, his face in a gun. He clutching the Bible, he stood by the grave. His name is a symbol, the lady, the unity, power, and people that fought for a change. Come to me, walk with the village, the prophecy coming today. Put in the balance, the people are vouching, the culture is shaking, the activists say is an anomaly, probably coming to sleep when the savages stay. Went out the way to the government's west, put that bitch to the ground, stuck his hand out to say. Rappers and parasites down in the streets, season the grass, no they coming for me. Industry killing niggas on the beat, the cycle repeats to the artist deceased. Prophets and parasites lining the streets, snakes in the grass, no they coming for me. Industry killing niggas on the beat, the cycle repeats and the artist deceased. I am a breaker, the enemy chasing the serpent's eclipse, but heat in the glacier, a culture erasing with peace in its nature that fought for the niggas from here to Jamaica. The arsenal taker that's rooted in favor, the son of the story, the brother of Asia, the power of Tyson, the anger of Frazier, the one from the trenches.